All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Shemar, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. This is the brother Barzal from Great Millstone, Atlanta. I just want to go into the fall of Egypt, or Mizraim, prophesied in the scriptures. Because, you have a lot of Jakes that cleave unto the religion of Egyptology. They're big in Pan-Africanism. You have the black conscious community, and that ain't nothing but Negroes, Israelites that embrace the doctrine of Kemetism. They wear the unks, where they they have a pyramid, symbols all over their clothing. They they're all about Hotep and all this Egyptian BS. But truthfully speaking, we're not first off Hamites, because the Egyptians were sons of Ham, and they were the sons of Mizraim, which this is under Egypt under Wikipedia, and this is this is factual. This is documented history on Egypt. Egypt today is known as the Arab Republic of Egypt. And why is it known as the Arab Republic of Egypt? Because the Arabs occupy that land now. You could go through the history of through this, and it speaks about how the Arabs actually took and occupied the lands after the Ottoman Empire and the British Empire. And it speaks about, in 1958, it merged with Syria to form the United Arab Republic, which dissolved in 1961. And basically, it's occupied by the Arabs and the individuals that are the original Egyptians live south Sudan, south of Egypt, and they'll never ever come back in a rulership again, because the rise of Egypt was made great due to the Israelites, and Egypt fell when the Israelites left Egypt. That's why when the Israelites fled Egypt, the hundreds of Israelites leaving Egypt by the hand of Moses, you had the Pharaoh that was in hot pursuit of the Israelites, because he knew what that was his gain. That was the way that Egypt was made great, by the laboring and toiling and the variety of flavor that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans actually brought to that land. And with that, the pyramids, you have in Egypt the Valley of Kings, Valley of Queens, the major pyramids, the very heavily monumental structures. And people today still do not know how those pyramids were created. And, it's foretold in the scriptures that, we were to go in captivity by the space of 400 years, and we would be delivered out of that captivity. And we was in the land of Egypt. We built those treasured cities, Pithom and Ramses, and we lived in the land of Goshen, if I'm not mistaken. So, this is like going into a little bit on the history of Egypt today. Like I said, it's an Arab republic. The official language now is Arabic, and it says the national language is Egyptian Arabic. And when you go into which, let me scroll down just a little bit. But when you go into the official language Arabic, they go into how basically it's of Shemitic origin, modern standard Arabic, and you go up to the language family, and it goes to Shemitic, which is an Afro-Asiatic, which goes into the Middle Eastern region. And they know that the Arabs are Shemites, and the Arabs actually come from Ishmael. All right, because the Ishmaelites, they occupied that land, and the word Arab just simply means mix. All right, they actually occupied that land, and the Arabic people actually came about, through the loins of Ishmael. And you had the son of Ham, because you had the three classes of people. You had the Hamites, you had the Shemites, and you had the Japhites. The Japhites occupied today, which is known as Europe. When you look in the scriptures of the history, Greece is known as Javan, and all those different lands are Japhite names. All right, Gog and Magog, which is the land of Russia today. All that land was occupied by the Japhites, and you had the land of Ham, Foot was the North Africans. You had Canaan, the South Africans. You had Mizraim, which is Egypt, and you had Cush, which is the Ethiopians. And even the Cushites know of the Cushite kingdom to this day. All right, so I just wanted to go into a little bit of this and show, the history of Egypt is it translates directly back to the scriptures. All right, and even I'm gonna prove that through going into this word right here, the meaning of the name Egypt. So it says, meaning home of Ka, of Ta, name of the temple god, of a temple to the god Ta at Memphis. Mizra, Arabic pronunciation, is the classical Quranic Arabic and modern official name of Egypt, while Masra, Egyptian Arabic pronunciation, is the local pronunciation in the Egyptian Arabic. Right, and this word Mizra goes back into Matazarium. So it says the name is of Shemitic origin, directly cognate with other Shemitic words for Egypt, such as the Hebrew Matazarium. The oldest attestation of this name for Egypt is the Akkadian related to Misru, Misiru, Masaru, meaning border or frontier. So Egypt goes back to the name Mizra or Matazarium, which that's in the scriptures, because Ham had a son that was Matazarium, and he occupied that land, and he begot children, and those children occupied that land and named it after their father Mizraim. All right, which the Hamites were sons of Noah. And you have the Gilgamesh epics, the Epic of Gilgamesh. You have the Enuma Elish, and a lot of those stories go into Egyptian history goes into a flood story. It goes into biblical history, and you had our forefather Abraham, and you had Joseph. Those individuals made Egypt great. All right, that's why Egypt was a primary kingdom at that time. They were technologically advanced, agriculturally superior than the masses of individuals in their region. And why was that? Because you had righteous, wise men that actually occupied that land and showed those individuals the ways of righteousness. So, and this says Kemet, KMT, which means black land, likely refers to the fertile black soils of the Nile flood plains from the desert or red land. So another word that pops up a lot with Egyptian history is the term Kemet. All right, and the word Kemet is a Hebrew term, and I'll prove that. That's where you get the term chemistry. So this is under the word chemistry. It says, and I'm going to jump to the point, the Arabic term is derived from the ancient Greek. However, the ultimate origin of the root chem is uncertain. According to Oxford English Dictionary, alchemy, and this is under alchemy and chemistry is the same term, is derived from, I can't pronounce that Greek term, but which is derived from the ancient Egyptian name of Egypt, Kim, Kam, Chemi, meaning blackness. Therefore, alchemy is the black art. However, it is possible that alchemy derived from meaning cast together. So alchemy, chemistry, and Kemet, all of those are the same term going into dark skin, or really in its root word, it means heat. All right, because the heat is Kemet, or Africa is a hot region. That's why another word for Africa is Afrika, which means not cold. It's a hot region. Hum, heat, hot. And with a lot of heat and sunlight, it darkens your skin. That's why they refer to this as blackness or darkness. All right. So Egypt, the land of Mizraim, is also the land of Kemet, where the Hamitic people dwell, and the Israelites, lived in that land, and they occupied that land for a season, and we fled through that land after the captivity of Moses, and I'm gonna go into it in the book of Psalms. This is Psalms 105, and I'm gonna start at 23. Israel also came into Egypt, which that word Egypt is Mizraim. So we came to the land of Mizraim, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham, which Jacob, when you go to the history, is the forefather of the children of Israel. And Jacob occupied that land with the Israelites because of Joseph was sold into Egypt. And when Joseph was in Egypt, he made Egypt great. That's why you have in Egyptian history an individual named Imhotep, and he was known through his visions and his divine dreams to actually help the prosperity of that land, just like Joseph. So historians and scholars correlate Joseph with Imhotep. All right. And there's a Moses that's in the scriptures. You even have in certain hieroglyphs the name of the Lord. All right. Because these Egyptians, they knew we are the Israelites. And even today, these Egyptians, they don't know that they really go back to the pharaohs, the individuals in the Sudan region. They don't really embrace that religion because they've been cut off from the national heritage. The so-called white man through the Ptolemaic Empire occupied that land, rearranged the names, and they called it different names. That's why it's called Egypt today, which Egypt is a Greek term, Aegyptos. So it says, and he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies.